What it do? Dream Team, it's your boy D Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with the craziest thing an American has told me about Germany. Back with our girl, Miss Haley Alexis. And before we dive in, y'all know I need y'all to dive into that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You don't subscribe to any of it? Put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me, shoot me, and talk back. You guys got a favorite video? You can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. What we got, Haley?
Hi everyone, what is up? My name is Haley. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you did not know, now you do. Hey you guys, what's up? So in today's video, y'all, I'm sorry about the way that I look. I am so hodgepodge. I didn't want to show my hair. I have to shave it. I'm in my like pajamas, my ugly pajamas today. I even have on mismatching pajama.
mismatching. I love her personality.
Today I even have on mismatching pajama pants, and yeah, sorry about that. I was gonna put on makeup and come here all cute for you guys, but
That's all good.
I decided not to. I'm just gonna tell you guys a story. One of the most bizarre stories I've ever heard in the United States about Germany. This I'm trying my best to be humor, or like do this with humor, make this video with humor, but it's troubling. Like, I'm warning you guys, if you're American and you're watching this is gonna be a troubling story, in my opinion. I wasn't even in the United States for 12 hours and this happened to me. I drove home from the airport, got here at midnight. The next day I went to go pick up my rental car at like 8 a.m. So it was an 8-hour time frame of me being in the United States, and this happened to me. And I wasn't gonna tell the story, but then I let it simmer and sit for a while, and I was like, just tell it. It might be interesting. It might be a learning experience for someone out there. I don't know who, but yeah. With all that being said, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and let me know down below in the comment section what you think about this video. I went to go pick up my rental car, and I'm just going to give you a wonderful backstory of everything, you guys. It's going to have irrelevant information, relevant information. Cool. I'm just going to talk.
We want the full scope, Haley. We want the full scope. We want every detail, whether it's important or not. We want it all. We love hearing the stories, and I'm very intrigued because you had just got back. Know what I'm saying? You wasn't ready to hear no crazy stories, but that's how life works. Now talk to me.
Everything, you guys. It's gonna have irrelevant information, relevant information. I'm just gonna talk. And it was jam-packed. It was a catastrophe. I was technically not supposed to get my rental car because they were only giving people with insurance claims rental cars, because no one had cars, or no one does have cars. A lot of people have lost their cars due to this hurricane. So I'm sitting there waiting to get like my car, and I guess everyone was having a powwow. You know, it was like 15 people talking about everything that was ruined in their lives, and I'm totally okay with that. And I thought it was very interesting to hear everyone talk about, you know, my power's been off since then. I met a lady, an older woman, that lost everything, and she had a little paper baggie with a phone that she got from Walmart, a bag of like noodles, and that's all she had left from her house. She said, my house is demolished. I don't know where I'm going. I'm getting in this car and I'm going somewhere else and staying there until I have a new home. They were going one by one telling all of their stories about the horrible things that happened to them. Then it got to me, and I was like trying to sit there hoping that they would pass over me, because I wasn't talking to anyone. I wasn't acknowledging them. I didn't want to tell them my story or anything like that. I was just like,
you know they was gonna call on you, Haley. You knew it was gonna go.
My story or anything like that. I was just like, yeah, oh, so sad. I don't want to go. Pass. So then they get to me. What about you? And I'm like, oh gosh, well, I'm not here. Like, I don't have a house here, but my mom does. You know, I don't really live here. I'm like in between. And they're like, oh, where are you from? And then I'm like, oh, Germany. And they were like, oh, interesting. Oh my gosh, so far. You know, when people do that random small talk. And there was a man that was sitting right next to me. We did not speak before this. We did not make eye contact. Nothing. He didn't say anything to me. I didn't say anything to him. But he heard Germany. And I think that was his trigger. I don't know how we
Oh,
got to
man.
talking, but he said, well, whereabouts in Germany are you from? And I said, oh, I'm like in the Munich area, in the south of Germany. And he's like, yeah, I know where that is. There's Oktoberfest. So I'm like, okay, well, it's a good start. Maybe we'll have an interesting conversation. When people ask me about Germany and then they like know a city, a food, anything, a landmark, I am, how do you say, willing to talk
Okay.
to them and have a conversation with them because I always think to myself, they have a little bit of an Ahnung. And so I'm asking him, well, how do you know about Germany? Have you ever been? He started talking about how he's traveled to other places in the world. And then he said, yeah, I've been to Germany like 3 or 4 times. I said, oh, that's actually a lot for an American,
Yeah.
generally speaking. I don't know that many Americans that go like back and forth to Germany multiple times. Usually they go once or twice, but not like 4. And he
Yeah.
said, yeah, they usually hold conventions there for, what did he say, construction or boats. I didn't remember exactly which one, but I'm pretty sure it was construction. He said that they hold them or they happen in Dusseldorf. And I was like, oh, I know where Dusseldorf is. And so we talked about Dusseldorf and he's like, well, you know where it's at? And I said, yes, I haven't been there like to do an extensive run through of the city, but I do know the area, the region. I said, and I think it's decent. I said, I love Munich, but I do think it's an okay area. And he's like, well, it's not for me. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, why did you ask me?
You know where it's at. You know what it's like. It's not for me. It's not for me. Keep going.
And he's
keep
like, well,
going.
it's not for me. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, why did you ask me? Like, what was the point of asking me, sir? And he said, well, it's not for me. And I said, no, that's fine. That's okay. You don't have to like it. I said, like I said, I love Munich. I love the mountains. I love the food there, the culture there. It's really cool. It's very tiny, compact. It's like a little village. And he's like, yeah, Dusseldorf just isn't my vibe. He didn't say that. He was an older gentleman. He was probably like 65 plus. But it was like, it's not I don't get like a feeling for it. I think that the culture is very bland. I think the food is very bland. And I'm like, okay. That's fine. People could say the same thing about the United States. I didn't say that,
Yeah,
but
you could have just stopped at it's not for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, and we understand something. Not everybody likes the same thing, so you could have just been like, yeah, it's not for me. That's it. That's it. You ain't had to go into. Now you starting to diss it. I think the culture is bland. The food is bland. It's just bland. Like, you ain't have to start dissing it like that. It's not for you. That's all.
that's fine. People could say the same thing about the United States. I didn't say that, but I said, yeah, I mean, I get it. Cultures, there are different cultures for different people. It is what it is. You don't like it. You don't have to like it. No one's forcing you to like
Exactly.
Germany. I sometimes don't like Germany either. From there, you guys, I don't know what happened, but he says, yeah. And another reason why I don't like Germany, and I have to laugh, but it's really not funny at all. It's shocking.
What do
He
you
said, but
say?
one of the main reasons why I don't like Germany is that when I went in, I think he said 2015 or 2016, which I think chronologically or based on date and time reference would be correct because of the, how do you say, refugee influx that happened during that time. He said, when I went in 2015 and 2016, there were so many refugees everywhere. And I was like, well, everyone knows that happened, but I could understand maybe you don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into my, how do you say, views or my political
Yeah.
affiliation or any type of like conversation with a random man at a rental car company in Southwest Florida about the immigration refugee crisis in Germany. I'm just not going to do it. And I was
I
just
feel
trying my
that.
best to like smooth it over because usually when you get into these types of conversations, they don't end well. I'm like,
No,
no big.
they definitely don't. And sometimes you don't want, like you said, you don't want to get in these conversations. You're trying not to. You're trying to give the shortest replies possible back. So to like end the conversation, but then they keep going. Sometimes they draw you in. They pull you into the conversation. And now you're in the conversation that you didn't want to get in. And now it's two people upset at each other, arguing about something. And it's a conversation you didn't want to be in the first place. But I don't know how this one's gonna go. But I'll let it keep going.
Usually when you get into these types of conversations, they don't end well. I'm like, no big deal, dude. And he's like, well, when I was there, they were thousands of Germans were getting their heads chopped off. They were getting stabbed in the heart. They were getting their throats slit. What else did he say? They were burning people at the stake. And I'm like, what year? I'm thinking that this man is maybe a zombie.
He went. This man talking about the Salem witch trials. What you went to the Hitler? You from the Hitler era, sir? What are you talking about?
I'm like, what year? I'm like, what? I'm thinking that this man is maybe a zombie, not a zombie, a vampire from a different era, a different period of Germany. He's reincarnated, or he's lived all these years and he's seen a different side of Germany that I don't know about. And I'm like, what year? And he's like, 2015, 2016. That's when I was there. And I'm like, can you witness this? He said, I saw all of this happening on the street. Germans just being massacred everywhere. And I'm looking around, looking to see if other people are witnessing or hearing this story, and it's literally just me and this man, and my mouth is just like, what the? I don't think I've ever heard that story before, sir. I said I knew that there were issues during this time. I know that there was stuff happening. I said, but I didn't hear about thousands of Germans being beheaded and their throats slit in the streets.
That probably would have made the news. Even over here, that would have got all the way over here and made the news. Something that bad happened, that would have been worldwide news. You feel me? That man wild, bro. He said thousands
of Germans being beheaded and their throats slit in the streets in broad daylight. He said it happened. I was there. I witnessed it all. And at this point, I was not about to argue with this man. I'm also very cautious in the United States when it comes to arguing with people because you never know, first and foremost, especially in Florida, who has a gun, who has a weapon. And people don't have access. They don't have access to affordable health care. They don't have access to affordable mental health care in general. They don't have access to medication, affordable medication. And so for me, I'm like, maybe this man is crazy. I've triggered him and I don't want him to hurt me or do anything to me or like attack me in any way, shape, or form, because it turned into this very hostile, made up story. And so my response was, well, you know what? I haven't heard about this in Munich. It's not something that has come up. It's not something that I've seen on the news. And he's like, you probably won't see it on the news because the government is downplaying it. They don't want people to know. In Germany, in the world, they're controlling everyone. It's just happening. And I was there and I witnessed everything. And so at that point, y'all, I just said, well, I'll do my research. I got up, went to the complete other side of the building, stood in the corner and watched this man like a hawk, went to the people, got my car and left. And this has been the most bizarre experience that I have ever had in the United States. And like I said, after that incident, moving forward, everyone has been so positive. Everyone has been so curious. It has been so amazing in the United States this go around. But there's always that one person, that one group, I don't know, that ruins it for everyone, that creates this bad taste, that leaves you with a bad feeling. And that man did it for me. And I'm just like, why? Why are there people like this in the world? It's not even just the United States, it's everywhere. But what is the issue? And also, why did this happen to me? Probably to make a YouTube video about it. I tell you guys all the time, God, he's playing tricks on me. He loves to put me in these situations so I can get on here and tell the stories to y'all. And so I know some of y'all are going to tell me in the comment section that I should have told this man that he was incorrect. If I was in Germany, I would have argued with this man. I would have got up, I would have yelled in his face, I would have put my finger and said, you are wrong. But I'm not doing that in the United States to get shot in the face by someone that's triggered by Germany. That was it, you guys. I will make a video talking about the positive experiences. I hope you have a wonderful day. I love y'all, and bye.
Yeah, I feel like it's just not a good idea to argue with anybody who's talking nonsense, bro. Or just talking and like their facts are just completely don't add up at all, there's no point in arguing with them. Because if they're willing to believe that, they're gonna argue it to their death. They're gonna argue it until they're gonna die on that hill. Just agree with them and move. Oh, really? Cool. Okay. Oh, well, thank you for letting me know. I didn't know that. And then just move on. Cause you're gonna get upset for no reason trying to argue with somebody who makes no sense. That's all we got for this one. You guys got a favorite video suggestion? You can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media and Patreon are all up top. If you want to subscribe to any of it, put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. It's your boy D Neal. Out.